Thought, oh yeah, he's not a friend of mine when the time comes, and obey.
That's a horrible.
That's
no kidding.
my public servant telling me I should have obeyed. You know.
So Neil, how did you make out in Calgary this time? Different from last year?
Oh sure, Calgary was really good this time. I came straight here first.
Of course.
I had lost all my contact information except for yourself, because when my backpack was stolen in Victoria, my first night on the tour, my book that had all my contacts in it was also taken. So I've lost that. I did subsequently find some cards that had some Calgary numbers on it, so I had that. But I came here and Kelly had.
Okay, where's here?
Here's Calgary. Here's the Hemporium.
Hemporium, Tim at the Hemporium.
Yeah, Tim
been very supportive.
Elaine and the manager here.
Been very supportive.
And the other folks have been great here, letting me keep my stuff and come here and be obnoxious probably on a regular basis, talking to their customers and stuff. And then and Kelly gave me a place to stay for the first few nights. In his backyard there, and access to his computer, and
your comments where you enjoyed it was worth the admission. Lots happened. Well, last year you were beaten here. You were actually assaulted by whoever here in the city.
Never got to see their faces, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of a little mini 9/11 because I didn't do anything to hurt these people, and all of a sudden we were. Oh, it was my fault. I mean, we were
Your
pitching
fault.
it. We pitched it. Wow.
I
should have known better, I guess. To pitch a tent by the railroad tracks, by the skateboard park, in behind the Staples in the grass, and about 3 in the morning, I heard noises in my sort of semi-sleep state, and somebody saying, who's in that tent? And all of a sudden there was a kick to the head, and I'm realizing these guys are trying to knock our tent over and kicking at us. And so I, in my gruffest voice, was yelling back, what the hell? And I had taken this steel bar off the tracks on the walk down there and put it right by the door of the tent. It was like a post for chain link fence. I don't know what it was doing up on the tracks, but I don't know why I picked it up. But I just, on instinct, it was there. I picked it up, I put it by the tent door, and I was afraid these guys would get that steel bar and then we'd probably be dead. That was my fault. So all I could think of was focusing on that zipper to get the zipper up so I could get my hand out there and get into the fight for the bar, basically. And by the time I got the zipper up and got my hand out there, I'm hanging on, but there's no resistance, and I can hear people running. So when I zipped the zipper up, and away they ran.
Yeah,
so
they got scared.
They were they were pushing the tent over at that point. I had Zach, the guy running camera for me, as well in the tent there, and the two of us are like, "Whoa, no, going over, grab the zipper." And so yeah, that really kind of shook me a little bit about.
But his tour turned out better this year from Calgary.
I think that anybody should be very careful and not do something like that. I was naive. And in any type of a large city setting, you're not safe doing that.
But Kelly gave you a place for a couple of days, and then now you've got somebody from grassroots.
Yeah, Dory from the Seed Bank, Tim and Dory were up here, and they went to a wedding, and they gave me a couple of contact numbers, so I called the contact number, and it was Carlos, a fellow who's been in a wheelchair for 16 years after a car accident, but well-adjusted, happy guy that has his car that he drives around in with his hand controls, and he travels around the city doing all sorts of good work, on behalf of the movement for sure.
Good.
And then so he picked me up and took me out for the night with another friend of his, Gerardo, that's a general contractor, or more of a designer sort of person. I'm not even sure, but he does work on blueprints in a big office. And so he had a spare room downstairs, so that's what I've been set up with, and that's worked out really well. He's got right by the train station there, not too far from the town, and I've used that as a home base, and I'm here probably till, Tuesday I would imagine I'm going to be leaving here, but we're waiting for the truck from Vancouver that's there, insured, ready to go, just someone with a license has to get in and drive it. The fellow was going to do that just only this morning. He's a week away now, so I don't want to jump on a bus and drive back to back to Vancouver to drive a truck here, but I might. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Might have to. Is there anybody in Calgary though that's going to come with you or help out along the way again?
Well, if Adam doesn't come to assist me in driving, then I'm going to go to rideshare and see who's there that needs to get farther east, and someone with a license can hopefully let me spend some time on the highway rollerblading there. And if not, well, we'll just will go there. I have to make my appointments. This year, I'm planning on doing a lot of rollerblading in the east in Ontario, whereas last year, by the time we got into Manitoba, there was no skating on the highway because there's no paved shoulder at all, and the highway is single lane, and you just can't skate there. But Ontario had some nice paved roads, it's just we didn't have time. We needed to get off to Remembrance Day by that time. So this year we're going to schedule it so that I can do a lot of the skating in Ontario, because that builds a lot of momentum, and we're going to go
before you get there, yeah.
And yeah, get some good media coverage and try to build this thing in Ottawa for Remembrance Day.
Well, each year now, each city stop, each day you're learning new things and getting better at what you're doing. And
yeah, for sure. Last year I was
getting more contacts.
And traveling across Canada for 5 months on rollerblades. Not something I'd had any experience doing.
You survived last year.
Yeah, exactly. Especially stopping in the city here.
Yeah, well, it just gained me knowledge and experience, and made me stronger. And yeah, I arrived in a lot of towns last year with not knowing anybody there, and just had to sort of make my way, find the people that were there that would support what I was doing, and selling some seeds. Sold a lot of seeds last year, and the same this year. I've got seeds that I'm selling that help out in T-shirts and other things. So you see my shirt here.
Yeah, perfect, right on.
Nice gift from Mark Hemporium.
It's a nice shirt, yeah.
In Vancouver there, he sent me half a dozen shirts here, but this one I was wearing in Vernon, one just like this, and it got really scuffed and dirtied and what have you.
From being assaulted by the police and the bylaw officer.
I don't think I'm going to wash that shirt. There's pictures of me. It was brand new. Hadn't worn it up to that point. I was on stage with it, talking all day about the abuse of power that this culture of corruption creates for us here, and how our public servants see themselves as moral authorities with rights to do as they like. And then, so that shirt was nice and clean, nice and new. And then after the assault, it's really quite nasty.
Yeah,
so
there's
RCMP
DNA all over it.
Yeah, it's like
yeah, exactly. Their boot prints, their knee prints.
Well, they kind of did. Kind of did already, probably. Yeah.
You got it on video.
Well,
Fortunately, yeah.
Well, there's those, whatever CSI talks about, the tiny little efferal,
Yeah.
They'll find all of those in there, and it'll be an exhibit in an upcoming court case, I'm sure. So, and then we'll frame it after that. So, yeah, Mark Emery and the BC3, in case anybody out there in Viewerland doesn't know, they're up for wanting to be extradited to the United States by the DEA, which is ludicrous and insane, and an outrageous attack on Canadian sovereignty, that the Drug Enforcement Agency in the United States thinks they have some international ability to come into Canada, fund an investigation in a cooperative effort with some of our police people to target a person openly advertising and selling it from a storefront and paying taxes on flower seeds going to the United States to full-grown Americans who had desired to have them for whatever purposes they so deemed fit.
Yeah.
And yet, where do you think this is going to be okay to do this? Our government thinks that's okay to allow that to happen. Things that they would never be charged, convicted, and sent to any type of serious penalty for here in Canada, we're going to allow them to be sent down there. Well, damn it, I hope we don't. We better not, and we should all fight to make sure that those in power understand that we as Canadians are absolutely outraged by this whole thing, right start to finish. Mark Emery is a freedom fighter. He is absolutely not a leader of an organized criminal drug peddling ring.